Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Sentimental Value. And this movie came out in 2025, and it's nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, and it was one of the ones that I hadn't seen yet. And now I just have two left that I haven't seen, and I thought this movie was great. It's a foreign language film, and there's English in it as well. And what I mean by that is that there are scenes and parts in this movie where characters are speaking English, but I think overall it is a foreign language film, and I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I haven't seen The Secret Agent yet. That's the other foreign film that's nominated this year. But this one I thoroughly enjoyed, and I did like the music choices when it did have music in the film, and I also appreciated that there were many scenes in this film that had no music, and I felt as though that was pretty cool and restrictive. And it added to the film a lot, and the movie looked very nice. It was very well shot, and the way characters interacted with one another and the overall tone of the film and the lack of music, generally speaking, I felt as though those aspects reminded me of a Michelle Haneke film. And funny enough, there's even a film of his that's like referenced in this movie. Like there's a little kid holding one of his movies on DVD, that being The Piano Teacher. That was kind of funny for me. I was like, oh, that's fun to point out, and there's a lot that I could say about that, but I'm just going to continue on my thoughts on this film. I did enjoy how this movie communicates a lot without giving you a lot of dialogue. I thought that was pretty cool and really added to the overall film in terms of what it was going for and made it a more enjoyable experience for me. Like, it didn't have to show you a lot, nor tell you a lot. You can just fill in the gaps because what's in the gaps is actually pretty simple. And I do like the characters. I think they're pretty well written and they do feel like real characters. They never once fell into this category of characters that are just there to exist for the script to have drama and nothing else, or characters that are just unbelievable that I can't buy them as real people, or characters that just are in there because the writer is just trying to create conflict and is very clearly making an attempt to write arguments, but unfortunately the way that it's written feels like the writer is just arguing with himself. That never happens in this movie. It all feels authentic and never becomes goofy either. I feel as though it all worked pretty well. And this movie does have a film within it at multiple points. Sometimes it's a different movie being made, and I like those scenes. I do feel as though they add to the film a lot, and there was an interview scene that I thought was great, and it has some very memorable moments and scenes that I really enjoyed, and I feel as though the most memorable scenes for me personally are the ones that are the most simple, actually. I just love those kinds of scenes that just don't require much, but to just are able to communicate a lot. And I do feel as though this movie hits the emotions that it's trying to get at. And I do feel as though this movie knows exactly how to capture your attention and to keep you there for, at the very least, most of it. I wasn't with the film the entire time, but I'll get into that in a minute. But I feel as though when this movie works, it really works. And the performances were pretty strong from what I could tell, obviously. I can only get so much from these actors when they're speaking languages that I don't understand. Not to sound offensive or anything, but I'm doing the best I can. But if we're going to talk criticisms, the only real issue that I have with this movie at this point would be that I feel as though this movie is a little too long. I just feel as though 20 minutes could have been cut and I can just do without that, because I just feel as though the movie dragged on a little too long and it did feel slower paced, and that was intentional, and at times it worked, but I wasn't fully with it, and I just feel as though the movie could have been a bit shorter for me personally. And I do feel as though the scenes that work really work, but some parts just feel as though there's too much fat dragging it down, I feel. And I can't say which specific parts because it's kind of sprinkled throughout the whole film. Not so much at the beginning, not really towards the end, but just kind of in the middle of all that. There's just stuff that I can just do without. And I just found it to be less interesting overall. But overall, I did really enjoy this film, and And what I got out of it was a interesting character story about things that I found to be engaging. I'm trying to keep it vague because I don't want to spoil anything. But the film worked for me overall, and I would definitely recommend it to people. I think it's definitely worth watching, and if it won Best Picture, I would not be disappointed because it's a movie that I like a lot. So check this movie out whenever you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give Sentimental Value an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thoughts of Sentimental Value, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Best in Show. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.